What's up? So I've been making content on Clash of Clans for the last 5 years, and I think one of my biggest intents behind the message of each video was play how you want to play, do what you value, and I'm just giving you some recommendations based on my own experiences. I'm not going to say that I'm always right, and I'm not going to say that I do the best things every single time, because I'm just trying to enjoy the game like you guys. And I think the point of this video is, well, let's think about it like this. Have you ever been in a clan where you do like a war attack and you make a mistake, you might choke out and get like a 0-star or a 1-star, and then you go back to clan chat, you're super embarrassed, and there's somebody there just ragging you because you didn't do things the way they did them? That's really what this video is about overall. It's like, I've noticed that over time, it seems like Clash of Clans is starting to get like this atmosphere that's become really, really hard to be in because you're not in the right clan or you're not making the best decisions based on what everybody else expects you to do, right? So let me give you a couple examples of this. In episode 4, we spent off a bunch of magic items, and I specifically said in the beginning of that video, this is not going to be the most efficient way to spend these things. You know, we're gonna make mistakes, we're gonna do stuff that not everybody agrees with, right? So the first comment that got like the most likes on that video was, he said, "Book of Building for 2-day upgrade, gosh, it hurts to watch." Again, I said that I wasn't going to make the best decisions, but I wanted to take the laboratory up another level. That way I could upgrade the goblin and the wall breaker. That was my intent. I know that the use of a book is not necessarily the greatest use if it's less than 7-day upgrade. You know what I mean? So I asked, you know, just out of clarification, I said, so to clarify, would you sell the book instead of spending on a 2-day upgrade? Just trying to understand the comment where there are many books to come in this series, because we're buying the gold pass each month and we're gonna have a bunch of books available, whether it comes from clan games, whether it comes from special events like challenges, maybe, and the gold pass each month, there's going to probably be a bunch of books in there as well that we need to spend. So we have plenty of time to do a lot of things to fix this rush base. So there were other comments to follow it up, and he said, I think he was just trying to say that it could have used it on a longer upgrade because Book of Building is not easy to get for a free-to-play, which I totally understand. We've played through the free-to-play process, and of course, you know, when we're playing free-to-play, we don't get books very often, so we want to try to get the most out of each book usage. Does that make sense? I mean, it makes sense as a free-to-play player, but as a gold pass buyer, I think we have a little bit more freedom to do things wrong and learn from those mistakes. You know what I mean? So anyways, he said that there is an eagle, Infernos takes the most time, you get the rest. And then somebody below that actually said the monolith easily takes more than 2 days. And I agree, the monolith would have been a great upgrade. The problem here is that in order to upgrade the monolith, it requires 240,000 dark elixir, but I can only store 200,000 dark elixir because we haven't upgraded that storage just yet. So obviously we just went with what I felt was the best choice at that time. And then of course there's going to be a bunch of feedback in the comments of how I did things wrong. And then of course at the end of the video I asked, what did I do wrong? You know what I mean? Kind of did that for engagement, you know, of course, but the point is that I did something that I felt was valuable to me, and other viewers did not see it that way because they might be more, you know, farther along, or they might be, you know, right there with me and they felt they could have done something different and better. But the point about it is that the topic of this video is there a right way to play Clash of Clans? You know what I mean? Like, is there really a right way? So there's players out there that will choose to play through each level and max everything out and go to the next level, and this takes years and years and years, and you gain a bunch of experience by attacking throughout the years, and that actually makes you a better player overall. But then at the same time, you have the flip side, the complete polar opposite, which is rushing. And that's what we're doing in this series right here, is we are doing it the most difficult way possible. Like, in my opinion, I think that rushing is more challenging than maxing because I have to navigate through all these issues, such as leveling up an army and unlocking the housing space for the troops and doing all these different things that we would not have to deal with if we played through the game maxing and leveling everything up before moving to the next town hall level. Does that make sense? So there was actually another comment that really stood out to me on the last video, or episode 4, that really kind of made me question, like, wow, this is getting really, really toxic in a way. And so I'm not trying to, put this guy under the bus. Maybe we might actually censor out his name so nobody messes with him. But the comment was, please do some math and logic before making these videos. And I'm gonna put it like this. I did go to university and I took multiple mathematic courses, whether it was algebra, calculus, and I was a perfect scorer in all of those. Like, I love math, I love numbers, and I love patterns. However, when it comes to playing a game, I don't necessarily look at the game and say, well, what if I make this decision and I'm over here, trying to like figure out what is the best thing before it just doesn't make it fun. You know what I mean? For me, that is not fun. Like, I like going into a game and making decisions and making mistakes and learning from those mistakes. And yeah, so when I make these, rush-based videos, like right now, we're currently in the middle of the Anime Clash event. No, I did not grind it out on the first day. And it's working out really nicely because each attack now is offering 450 points of the crystals instead of 300 like last week. So the logic there is, like, if I was not being very logical about it, you know what I mean? Like, if I would have grinded it out last week, I would have had to do double the work. But then this week I have some more points being offered or more crystals being offered, so I can just kind of sit back and chill. And obviously the army that we're using for this event would be the mass mecha, which has turned out to be quite broken, if you will. And I'm not going to make a video saying, oh, this army's broken, because obviously it's broken. Clash of Clans normally does these temporary troops like this, so players can have a good time and enjoy the game while the troops are available. So again, like, going into doing math and logic on each, that's, if you want to play like that, that's your thing, like, it's not necessarily right or wrong. It's just about whether you're having fun. And I think that's the point of all of this when it comes to playing Clash of Clans, or any game for that matter, is that if you're not having fun, or if somebody's not doing something like you, then who said, who gives you the right? You know what I mean? Like, who gives you the right to say that's right or wrong? And here's a little bit of life advice when it comes to just in general. At the end of the day, when it comes to playing Clash of Clans, if you go out in the real world and you say, I have like this super awesome base in Clash of Clans, and you show it to them, they're gonna probably assume that you spent a bunch of money anyways. That's the reality. Like, nobody actually cares whether you're good at Clash of Clans or you're mathematically accurate or correct on everything you do. Which leads us into one more post that I got yesterday. I got a direct message from a smaller creator. Hold on, let me drop these sneaky goblins real fast. So I got a direct message from a smaller creator yesterday that was very, very concerning. He says, hi Kenny, I just found out that you are also making a Fix That Rush series, as well as not too long ago, I'm being attacked by people saying that I stole your content, which was not intentional. I'm taking inspiration from Galadon. I hope I didn't do anything wrong. And so I kind of read through like the comments, and it was like really, really concerning, some of the comments that were made on his video posts, like where he's basically stealing from other creators and doing something bad. And I'm gonna be the first to say that I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. So I remember what it's like when I first started making Clash of Clans content on YouTube, and I'm not going to say that I was an expert. I was not, 100% accurate in everything that I said. I wasn't making the best choices in everything. And a lot of topics were inspired by other creators. You know what I mean? Like, if you actually browse through a lot of the content for Clash of Clans, everybody's making similar topics or similar ideas, and it's just their perspective or take on it. So, yes, we're making a Rush-based series, again, for like the third time on this channel, but who says that he's wrong for doing the same thing? He might have a different perspective or a different take on everything. And I would be interested to watch to see what he's actually doing, because he might be doing something better than me, Like, I don't know. So I don't know. It just bothers me of the nature that viewers and players of this game have started to turn towards. And I think that really stems from the esports scene. No offense to the esports scene. It's actually really, really cool that they're doing that. But you know, you have some really creative individuals that are playing in esports, and you know, it kind of sets a guideline or an establishment of what the current meta in the game is. It's really just an example. Like, I can't mimic what they do. I don't play enough to play like they do, you know what I mean? But it also teaches players like, this is the standard and everything else that you do is wrong, and that is just not a good message to spread. Does that make sense? I digress. Let's get into the account real fast and let me show you what's been done. I think it's been 3 days since our last episode was recorded, and like mentioned earlier, the Anime Clash event has been active for a few days now. We've already collected 2,100 of the magical medals, and we've actually collected a bunch of the ore. We only have a few more tiers to go before we tap into the bonus track itself. We've also completed a couple of achievements, which means that we can kind of caveat off of the last video. We have Masters League. So we've made our way up into Masters League, which offers 1,000 free gems, and the next tier will be Champions League, which will give us another 2,000, which is really cool, and we might actually be able to go buy the frozen arrow from the trader, but we'll see how that plays out. Let's go ahead and claim the rest of these gems, and we've actually made a bit of progress in the sense of upgrading those army camps and also upgrading the elixir storages. So we got 1,700 gems right now, and what is it, the 1,500, right? 1,500 for the frozen arrow. We might be able to claim that, but then again, it also takes away from the use of the goblin worker, which is only going to be available for a few more weeks. I'll try to grind out some more achievements. So let's go ahead and claim the frozen arrow, and we can start leveling that up. And this one actually works out really nice because I like to queen charge, and that equipment runs really nice with the queen in a queen charge. Also, let's go ahead and jump into our progress base and show you what's been done in regards to upgrades. We got these 2 elixir storages down going to level 16, and I think might actually hold off on upgrading them to the final level because they do take 9 days. Maybe that might justify the use of a book. just saying. And we can go ahead and knock out a couple of levels on the dark elixir storage, which is highly necessary for other upgrades, to include heroes when we start tapping into those. And then we also have these 2 elixir or gold storages that need to be upgraded as well. When it comes to those army camps, we got level 9s, I think, all the way around almost. Yeah, so we got 3 that'll be level 9 in the next few days, and this one right here is down for upgrade to level 10, which also takes a bunch of days. So it might not seem like a ton of progress has been made, but to me, I think we've done rather well for 2 weeks of gameplay on this level 1 rush base. That's what it was when we first started. In the laboratory, we've already upgraded the goblin to level 8. We still need to do the wall breaker and the barbarian, and we're currently upgrading the haste spell to level 5 and the invisibility spell to level 3. So we're enhancing our sneaky goblin army, and then once we get that maxed out, we'll start working towards probably the root riders and overgrowth, because that is the army that's the easiest to use at Town Hall 16 according to the meta, of course, you know. So we're going to kind of gravitate towards what's popular right now and what's 3-starring everything right now, but that could very well change if they conduct another nerf on those items in the future. But you know, who's right or wrong, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's going to be, I think that's pretty much everything that we got going on. I didn't really want to go down the road of ranting too much in this video, but at the end of the day, think about it. If you love Clash of Clans as much as I do, we want to encourage players to continue to play. So try to keep in mind that even though you have a ton of experience, they might want to play the way they want to play. All you can do is make recommendations and support them through the process. Spread that positivity, guys.